Bienvenidos, el Bob and Katie Show. Yo soy Bob.
And I'm Katie.
What? You're supposed to do the Spanish thing.
I don't speak Spanish.
See, I was trying to, reach out to anybody that might be of, just forget it. We just lost a whole base of listeners. I appreciate that.
I don't speak Spanish, but I'm sure that probably was not genuine, legitimate Spanish dialect. I'm just saying.
Okay, so we have a list of bullet points because we're not doing the new parents episodes anymore. We don't really have anything, I think, specifically set up. What we've done here is just had a bunch of stuff that we're going to talk about, and we're just going to start flowing through the list and see what happens. We are going to start the show with something a little new today, and this segment is going to be called Dear Bobby. So, Katie, why don't you explain to everybody what's going on?
Well, basically, we borrowed some letters from Dear Abby. Everybody knows who Dear Abby is. You write in with your problems when you need advice, and Abby, she's a smart lady, and she writes back to you, gives you advice. So we're gonna borrow some of her letters, but we're gonna have Bob give his version of advice, and we'll just see how it goes. So
we're gonna see how it lines up versus Abby's, right?
Yeah, we'll see your advice.
The difference between Bob's advice and Abby's advice.
Yeah. Okay, well, the first one is, the title is Shoeless Dad Wants Slippers Inside His Daughter's Homes.
What?
Yeah, just okay.
Oh, by the way, she did not tell me the questions or anything, so I'm about to hear it for the first time, just like you guys.
Okay, Dear Bob, we have a couple of daughters who have told us we must take off our shoes if we visit them and our beautiful grandchildren. Although I'm not sure of their reasons for this, I do know for sure that we have never tracked any kind of dirt into their house when we visited. In fact, our shoes are always clean. I have very sensitive feet. I cannot even walk outside barefoot. On top of that, my feet get cold if they aren't covered. I have always worn slippers at home if I didn't have shoes on. In a discussion with my wife, I suggested that their request was both inconsiderate and disrespectful. I also said they should provide alternatives to shoes for visitors if they expect guests to remove their shoes. What is the proper etiquette in this situation like this? Cold feet in Iowa.
Okay, so it's the person that's going to the house that has to take the shoes off.
Yes, it's
right?
the father going to his daughter's homes. There's more than one daughter, but, I don't know if there's two or more, but all of his daughters said, hey, Dad, when you come over, you and Mom got to take your shoes off.
Okay, so here we go. Bob's advice. First of all, Dad, good job at raising daughters that want to keep their house clean. Secondly, I don't care if it's your daughters or not. If you go to somebody's house and they ask you to remove their shoes, remove your shoes. If you know that you're going somewhere where you have to remove your shoes, wear some thick socks if you're worried about your feet getting cold. My shoes are always clean. No, they're not. As soon as you step outside, your shoes are no longer clean. Stop being an inconsiderate jerk and look out for your family. And look out for your friends and everybody you know. This guy should have even written in to Abby. All he did was just put his jerkness out on the line.
Him and his sensitive feet.
Yeah. There's nothing really else to say about that. Stop being inconsiderate. Take your shoes off. Don't track up people's house. I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah, so Abby said, a person does not have to track dirt into a house to carry germs on the soles of one's shoes. If guests have walked on a sidewalk or driveway where someone has walked a dog or spat, then I can see why a parent might want shoes removed if children play on the floor. Good manners in this... I'm sorry, I'm really tired. Good manners in a case like this would be to cheerfully cooperate with your host, and if slippers are not provided, to bring a pair over that you can leave for the next time when you visit. It's a small price to pay for spending time with your beautiful grandchildren.
So
I could not agree more. You know that your daughters don't want you wearing shoes in their house. Take your shoes off. If you don't like it, bring slippers with you, wear socks, whatever. It's no big deal. Lots of people don't want people wearing shoes in their homes, me included. We take our shoes off at the door. We ask our guests to take their shoes off at the door. I can't stand people wearing shoes walking around my house.
Okay, so I guess we're going to change this segment to Dear Katie.
Oh, sorry. I'm just saying I can relate to this one because I don't want people wearing shoes inside of my house.
So her advice was to take slippers to somebody's house and leave it for next time. So because
if it's that big of an issue,
because you have sensitive feet and you're inconsiderate, you're just going to start leaving slippers all over town. I don't think that's a good job. I think you need to just suck it up and either, don't go see your family or wear some thick socks. I mean, get over it.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Okay.
Moving on.
Next one.
We're doing a second one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just two.
All right.
Dear Bob, I'm a 42-year-old divorced woman with no children.
What, did she leave a phone number? I really wish we could have, if this was video and they could see your eyes looking at me right now. Okay, 42-year-old divorced woman.
42-year-old divorced woman with no children. My
Jackpot.
My ex-husband has a son whose life I was a part of for 18 years. When people ask if I have kids, my reply is yes, I have a stepson. Why do people think it's okay to say things like that?
Like what?
Sorry. Why do people think it's okay to say things like, that's not the same as having your own, or that doesn't count, when they usually go on to ask why I don't have children of my own? What? Then they I can't read. Then they usually go.
Well, you're
on.
Making me sound smart, so keep going.
I'm really tired.
For anybody that doesn't know,
I swear I can read.
We have 2 children in our house, so right now it is 1:43 in the morning because that is the only time we can record where there's not screaming or laughing babies. All right, go ahead.
Sorry. Let me read this whole section over again.
Oh,
geez,
my Lord.
Louise. Why do people think it's okay to say things like, that's not the same as having your own, or that doesn't count? Then they usually go on to ask why I don't have children of my own. My response is a big fat lie. I say, it just never happened. The truth is, my ex didn't want any more children. What can I say to these people to let them know that they need to stop and think about what they say and ask, because their word choice in this circumstance is hurtful to the point of tears? Stepmom in California.
Okay, stepmom, 42-year-old, divorced, no kids. My advice is very, very simple. The truth shall set you free. All she's got to do is be honest. If she's honest when people ask her about that, do you know how awkward that would make them feel? And they would stop asking questions. Do you not agree?
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly.
So
yes.
This is what it's going to be like. We're gonna pretend. That was your throat making that noise?
Yeah, like my throat made I swallowed it.
I'm not cutting that out. Hopefully.
Could you hear it?
It sounded like a little goat.
Yeah, your throat just, I don't know.
Hopefully I hope the microphone picked that up. Okay, so we're going to do a little role playing, all right? You're going to be the inconsiderate person that asked me about my kids.
Why do I have to be the jerk?
Because I'm giving the advice. You're not really a jerk. You're just asking questions.
I know I'm not really a jerk. I'm too nice of a person.
Let me get into my 42-year-old single female, no kids role, all right? Hi. Is that good? No?
I don't know. I'm not a 42-year-old divorcee with no kids, so.
Okay. Didn't you have a question you want to ask me?
Oh, is this where I ask you the question?
Oh, dear Lord.
Do you have kids?
I have a stepson. You're making this way more awkward.
I don't know. At that point, I go, okay. I don't know.
No, you're supposed to. I'm going to get my point across. All right, you're supposed to be the person that says, well, that really doesn't count.
That doesn't count. Crazy.
I think it counts.
No, it doesn't. It's not the same as having your own.
And then you're supposed to say,
why didn't you ever have kids?
Well, the reason I didn't have kids is because I got involved with a man that I probably shouldn't have. We're no longer together, and he didn't want to have kids, and because he didn't want to have kids, I loved him and I kept going, and now I've lost all chances of having my own child, and it's a very hurtful situation, and you're making me feel very sad right now. And that is the same response that you would get from anybody because they're going, oh.
I agree. This.
Miss divorced 42-year-old, the only thing I can say is sometimes we make choices in lives that lead to things that we regret or don't regret. One thing that I went through, or not even me, more Katie than I did, when we were trying to have a kid and we were being unsuccessful, a lot of people didn't know how hurtful it was that if you asked us, hey, when are you going to have kids? Yeah. It's very hurtful, and a lot of people didn't know that.
And I don't know how it's become so common for people. I mean, even strangers, even complete strangers. Oh, do you have kids? You should have some kids. Why don't you have kids? Like, why is it? I don't understand why that's such a common thing.
It's just like the person that walks up to a pregnant woman and decides to rub her belly without asking.
No.
I'll tell you what.
Okay.
I waited for that your whole pregnancy and it never happened. I waited and waited and waited and it never happened. I had it planned out in my mind.
When by the time I got a really big belly, I was on bed rest, so I didn't really go out in public. So,
Like, I played that out in my head so many times. I was like the first person.
I know we're getting so off topic, but yeah, I kept waiting for one of those old people, because old people, they speak their mind, to go, oh, are you sure you don't have two in there? Because surely, I mean, I've heard lots of old people say that to pregnant women, especially who have a bigger size belly. Oh, are you sure you don't have two in there? I couldn't wait for somebody to ask me that because we'd be like, well, as a matter of fact, I do.
You cut me off. Now my story's going to be anticlimactic.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, let's see what Abby said.
Oh, I still want to tell the
done?
story. No, I wasn't done.
Oh, sorry. Go.
Okay,
go
so
on,
anyways, what I was going to say is if some guy
apologize.
walked up to you and rubbed your belly, I was going to grab his crotch and just make him feel as awkward as you felt. Probably more so.
It's kind of like I've adopted this philosophy that if I catch someone staring at me, I stare back. Because I'm like, if I catch you staring at me, it's going to make me uncomfortable, so I'm going to make you uncomfortable.
Do you remember?
Same thing.
Do you remember when we went on our honeymoon and we were riding around looking for somewhere to get breakfast, and we saw this pancake house? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
So we walked into this pancake house, and it was like something out of a horror movie. Is what it made me think.
There was the normal dining room chatter, people having conversation, clanking of forks on plates, normal restaurant sounds. And we walked in.
Oh, before she says this part, let me set the scene. This is what you saw when you walked into this place. The restaurant was packed.
Yeah, it was.
And every single person was wearing camouflage.
Yep. And there was
it looked like a room full of hunters.
The walls were wood paneling, and I believe there were a few deer heads on the wall.
I was, I've got tattoos. At the time, I had black hair. You had black hair, maybe?
My hair was brown. I had the really thick blonde highlights.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what
So
else
anyways, the point is, we didn't fit in this situation. Two of these things were different, and we were it. So go ahead.
Yeah, we walked in the door, and a hush fell over the restaurant, and every single person there turned and stared at us like
you could have heard a snail fart.
It was really something out of a movie.
We never even gave the hostess a chance to talk to us.
Yeah, the hostess, she turned, and it took her a moment because I think she was taken aback too. I don't know why. I mean, we're not that funny looking. And, she asked us, oh, just two? And we were like,
I said, I don't think we're going to eat here. I said, it's time for us to go.
We turned around and walked out.
And we walked out.
Very weird.
And, holy crap on a cracker. It was insane.
It was really weird.
Yeah. Right,
anyway, so let's see what Abby said, because Abby said...
What was the question? What were we talking
about? About the divorce lady.
Oh, yeah, the 42-year-old single female. She didn't leave her number. Okay, got it.
Anyway, she said, a person who would downplay your role as a parent is rude, thoughtless, and not worth your time. As to asking why someone is childless, I have addressed this subject in my column before. While many folks start conversations by asking whether someone has children, it can be a dangerous question. I learned my lesson and stopped asking after having received an answer from one man that his son was doing life in prison as an accomplice to murder. Another man told me he had 2 children, a daughter and an estranged son, who was also serving a long sentence for selling narcotics. Neither person was happy to have been asked. After that, I stopped asking. I see no reason why you shouldn't simply tell the truth about why you are child-free. Not having or wanting children is nothing to be ashamed of. It's a personal choice that an increasing number of couples have opted for without regret. So, I don't know. You seem pretty spot on with your advice.
You know, I've got something else to add to it that I thought about. If it's something, maybe the 42-year-old single divorcee doesn't want to talk about it, she could just say that. You know, it's really a subject I don't want to talk about. Because I wouldn't say, I don't want people to go out there and stop asking about that, because guess what? We finally got past the point where we were having so much trouble, and if people want to ask me about kids, I'm all about talking about kids, so that's fine with me.
I know, but I guess because I've been on the other end of it for so many years, I will never ask someone, especially a stranger, oh, do you have kids? Why don't you have kids? I would never, because I know if there is a, you know, there could be a painful story behind it, and it's just, I don't know, it's just not okay to ask everybody. I don't know. It has become increasingly more aware to me how hard it is to be a woman in this day and age, especially of childbearing age. There's so much pressure, and it's funny because you would think this stuff would have happened more, you know, years ago, in different decades and in times past. But, you know, in this modern day and age, it's really, there's still a lot of pressure on women specifically because either, you know, you're trying to have kids and, you know, for some reason it's not working out and it's, you know, it's hurtful. Or you have kids, probably too many, and don't need kids. Or you have the perfect number of kids, you're happy with how many kids you have, and people go, when are you going to have another one? When are you going to have another? Like, it's never, I don't know, there's always something, and there's a lot of pressure on women, and it sucks.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's something that has come to my attention, and I don't know, nowadays, in the days of freaking Pinterest, so many people, it's about the baby. It's about the freaking cute nurseries and all the good stuff you can do, and the maternity pictures, and the newborn pictures, and the cutesy little things.
What's Pinterest? You
know what Pinterest is. It's the website.
I thought you bought stuff from there.
No, you go, there's like crafts and ideas and recipes and, I mean, all kinds of stuff.
What's the place that you go to that you buy stuff from?
You're thinking of Etsy.
Okay, so Pinterest
that's all you took from everything I just...
Well, I said, if you go back and listen to the recording, I tried to say what, and you just kept going, like I got
no,
okay.
The whole point...
So, wait, so Pinterest, you put pictures up?
Can I not explain this to you right now? I don't want to waste our podcast time explaining to you what Pinterest is.
Then I'm just going to sit here and
pretend I'll show you.
I'll sit here and pretend like I know what I'm talking about.
It's not relevant to what I was... Oh my God.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Can we just forget I even said it?
So people are posting pictures about something.
No, that's... Okay, I'm done. Moving on. Next thing.
Well, I want to know. I'm curious now. Can we rewind? Your eyes could I think you could kill a goat, like in that movie. You know what I'm talking about with George Clooney. You know what movie I'm talking about. I think it had goat in the title. Staring at Goats. Was that the name of the movie? Remember he stared at that goat and it dropped dead? I'm about to play that All By Myself song again.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not cutting any of this out. I'm waiting for you to keep telling me the story. Tell me, I just didn't know what Pinterest was. I didn't understand. I know what Facebook is. I know what Twitter is. So I sort of know what Twitter is.
The website that I said has absolutely nothing to do with what I was talking about. It's irrelevant.
Okay. I understand now. I was stuck on, I didn't know what Pinterest was. It's irrelevant. If it's
no,
irrelevant,
I'm saying so many people nowadays that are having children, it's for the wrong reasons. So many people, it's the image, it's the cute things you can do, you know, I have to have my nursery decorated, you know, just so, and all the cutesy things, my baby shower, and don't get me wrong, I had a cute baby shower, I had a freaking adorable baby shower that I didn't get to go to, And there's been cute things that we've tried to do along the way, but that is not a reason to have kids.
I had kids because I wanted kids and because I wanted a family and I wanted you to be happy. But I get exactly what you're talking about. I might not be a smart man, but I know what love is.
I don't know. I guess my ideas are a lot different than some women. I never wanted a baby. Before we got married, I didn't want kids at all. But I never wanted a baby. I wanted a family, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Babies are hard work.
Didn't you say, how many did you say you wanted at first?
2.
And I was like 1.
Yeah, you only wanted 1.
And then now we
and
got
you
2.
told me that I better have 2 at a time if I wanted to. You said that.
Oh, so that's my fault, huh?
Years ago. Yeah, I think that's on you. I do. I think that's on you.
What's that thing my mom does?
Mm.
Yeah, because that's my fault.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, I love my mom so much, and she does weird things, and I think that's my favorite. Like whenever you say something that's, I don't know, out of the way or a little bit crazy, like she doesn't even say any words. She just goes, okay. So that segment or bullet point was entitled Katie's Rant. Was that all of it? Was that what you were actually talking about?
I can rant all day long about things regarding kids and
But that's what you were talking about when you told me to put
yeah.
that bullet point down? That was the... What? No? Did you have something else to talk about? You know what we're going to do next, right?
You didn't have to tell everybody I was planning on ranting.
Well, I didn't know what the rant was. I wanted to make sure we're moving on to the next thing.
Why do you have to say something? Jeez, I don't want to do this anymore.
Welcome to the Bob Show.
I'm going to bed.
No, we got to talk about tea in a cup. Oh, in a cap. Tea in a cap. This is we should have brought this up on the new parents episode. Don't you agree?
I thought that's what this was supposed to be.
Is this going to be a new Okay, so this is New Parents episode 4. We are really not on track with each other tonight. Okay, so New Parents episode 4, which started out with...
I think we need to just erase it and start all over.
We don't need to start all over. It's fine. We're 24 minutes in. I'm not starting over.
Started
out with Dear Bobby, and then, little Katie time. So we're going to move on to some baby stuff. Dear Parents part, is it number 4?
Well, I can't remember.
Oh, I'm kind of sad because I was going to title this one, Don't Cry Over Spilt Breast Milk. Now it'll be...
Well, you still can.
Can I? And we'll just say... Okay, so technically this is New Parents part 4, but we're going to title it Don't Cry Over Spilt Breast Milk. You'll find out why later. Okay, so tea in a cap. Do you want to tell this story or do you want me to tell this story?
I think this is your story to tell.
So... What was this like within the first week or 2? It was within the first week, right?
No. The babies had been home from the hospital. It was sometime within the first month.
That's what I meant. The first week or 2 that the babies were home from the hospital.
Yeah. So they were they were a month old when they came home from the hospital. So it was sometime between the time they were about a month and 2 months, somewhere in there. When we were, getting up multiple times during the night, every few hours.
So what's people with single babies don't... One of the things you don't know about, and I may have said this on another podcast, I don't know, I believe it. When the babies get up every 2 hours to feed, you can't take turns because there's so many goddamn babies. You both get up, and you both feed babies.
It's your turn. It's everybody
So,
gets up.
I was tired, and I think the routine we were doing at the time was you would start changing them.
I would be changing their diapers while you went and fixed the bottles.
And I went and made bottles. Well, I hadn't slept.
Because I didn't breastfeed during the middle of the night. It was faster to give them bottles.
This was 2:30 in the morning, and I think I had slept a total of like 30 minutes, and I was running on a week.
Yeah, I think it was one of those
no
nights where
sleep.
we had just gone to bed right before they woke up again.
It was bad. So, anyways, I come into the kitchen, and... Was it formula?
I don't remember. It doesn't matter.
I don't even know what I was doing. So I get the baby bottles out, right? And I'm supposed to be making milk. Well, I startled myself because the milk, it was breast milk because I was supposed to be pouring the milk into the bottles. That's what happened. Or I was supposed to be pouring milk into bottles, not mixing formula. So I got really upset because the milk came out brown. I mean, just dirty brown, and it freaked me out. I took a step back and realized not only was I not pouring milk into a bottle, but I was pouring tea into the cap of a bottle.
It was one of the half gallons of sweet tea from Bojangles that we had in the refrigerator from like the day before. For some reason, you pulled it out of the refrigerator in your sleep-deprived state, and I
unscrewed the cap, because there was it wasn't a nipple on the bottle. You had to unscrew a cap off of the bottle, then put the nipple on. I unscrewed the cap and started pouring tea into it. So within a second, it overflowed, and cold tea was running down my arm, and all I know was I was like, it's brown! Why is the milk coming out brown? And I don't think I've ever been that tired in my life. Did I start laughing? Was I in here laughing?
I can't remember. I was tired too.
But it was pretty. Why are our? We're making fun of me like bullet points back to back to back. Was there anything else on Tea in a Cap?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Where were you about to lead to?
Oh,
nothing. All right, next bullet point. Bob falls off bed. I think you're going to tell this story.
This was once again... No, we were putting the babies, we were getting them ready for bed. It was bedtime. So it wasn't in the middle of the night. It's, 8 o'clock in the evening.
This was still during the time where I wasn't getting any sleep.
Yeah, this was still within the first couple months they were home.
And at this point, I'm back to work. So not only am I not sleeping at night, but I'm not getting naps during the day or anything like that either, so.
Yeah, we were tired. Anyway, we went into the room, and we usually just lay the babies on the end of our bed to change them. It's just easier that way. And so both of the babies were laying on the end of the bed, and I was getting their jammies on, and you came over. You were standing by the corner of the bed, and for some reason you went to put your knee on the bed.
Did you see me put my knee on the bed?
I saw you lifted up your leg, and your knee was going towards the bed, and then you just fell on the floor. And I thought you, how it looked to me, I thought you fainted or passed out or something. And I ran over there. I was like, "Are you okay?"
Yes, are you okay? Yes. What did you call me? You called me by name. I don't even know what you called me. Did you call me Bob?
I don't remember.
Said, Bob, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm just laughing. I'm hysterical. Because I didn't faint. All that happened...
you lift up your knee, and then you just fell on the floor.
That's not what happened.
You fell, straight down. You just went down.
No, it might have looked that way, but what really happened was I was going to climb onto the bed with the babies. But they were laying in the middle, so I had to go up the side. Well, I put my left knee on the bed to gain, traction, I guess. And when I put my left knee, between the bed being soft and me being a big fat guy, it just folded in and I slid right off. The whole side of my body hit the bed and then I just hit the ground. I'm sure the people underneath us, because we live in an apartment and there was a bedroom underneath us, they were probably like, holy crap. I think a whale just fell upstairs. But yeah, you freaked out. And I couldn't breathe because I was laughing so hard.
I didn't know what happened.
Monitors. We forgot to talk about monitors in the last couple
episodes.
I
can't believe in all of our talk about what happened with, our kids and them being born early and everything, that we didn't talk about the monitors. So our kids, they were born 8 weeks early. Spent a month in the NICU. In order for them to come home as early as they did, they had to be on apnea monitors.
Which, to this day, I truly believe these things were made by the devil himself.
For anyone who doesn't have experience with these monitors, just count yourself very, very lucky and blessed. There's a belt that goes around their chest with 2 electrodes, one basically under each armpit. And it monitors their heart rate and their breathing. And it has settings where if their heart rate drops below 80 beats per minute or goes higher than, I'm not sure what the setting is, but if it gets too high, it goes off. Anyway, and these monitors are crazy loud when they go off.
It's god-awful loud.
Because, I mean, it has to be. So, like, if it's the middle of the night and,
it sounds like a tornado warning. That thing that, like, if you, that tornado sound that's in a town, if, like, a tornado comes, that's what it sounds like. It's just... We put tape over the speakers.
Yeah, so starting day one, we put tape over the speaker of the monitors, which...
Not because we're bad parents and we don't care about...
No, because you can still hear it. It's just not
ear-piercingly
loud.
The nurse actually told us to do that.
So, yeah,
I think mainly the reason it's that loud is because a lot of families that are not as... I'm not going to say...
Some people don't have their babies in the same room with them.
Some people don't live in a one-bedroom apartment with 4 people. So if you've got a big 4-bedroom house and the kids are staying in their own room halfway across the house, you can hear this monitor. Well, we're in the room with them, and when that monitor goes off, it makes you want to throw up. I mean, that's how loud, and then it's nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah. That's a horrible way to wake up, by this monitor just beep, 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 beep. And your kid's heart is not beating like it should. I mean, it's a terrible way to wake up in the middle of the night.
So,
oh, my gosh.
Aside from the screaming alarms that sound like demons dying, you can't move around the house because they're attached to them. It's so complicated.
Yeah, the cord's only so long.
So we took a bunch of pictures, with them on the bed with us and stuff like that. And I remember somebody had put in a comment on our Facebook page about, oh, you shouldn't be letting them sleep on the bed. I just want to be like, you can go screw yourself because you don't know what we're dealing with. We weren't letting them sleep in the bed.
Yeah, they don't sleep in the bed with us.
We just couldn't. It was so much easier just to play with them on the bed right by the crib than it was to pick up 2 monitors, 2 babies, 18 feet of cord, and move into the living room.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time on the bed because it was easy. That's all that was. And then the monitors have to stay plugged into the wall. But
they do have a battery that's only lasts a couple hours.
Supposedly.
It's supposed to last a couple of hours.
So we decided to go somewhere one day. It was our very first time, right?
No, it was not our first time. It was like the second or third time we left the house with them. We were going to your parents' house to go visit.
Right.
And as soon as we get in the car, we back out of the parking space and go to leave, and Riley's monitor starts going off.
Beep, 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 beep,
so I turn around and I look to see what the problem is, and it's saying low battery.
Oh, that's the wrong noise, isn't it? If it's a low battery, it's just a solid beep, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Doesn't matter. Keep going.
Yeah, so I'm like, what in the world? Like we don't have enough to deal with. This monitor just decides that the battery's going to go to crap, and we have a 45-minute drive, and the battery is just shot. So I had to just turn the monitor off.
Which is a horrible feeling because we're freaking out. We've got newborn premature babies. I know the whole time I was driving, I kept going, is he still breathing?
Yeah,
is he still breathing?
They're obviously in rear-facing car seats, so you can't just turn around and look at them. And so what I would do is I had the monitor, and I would just turn it on for you could turn it on for a minute, and it wouldn't go off.
Make sure the heartbeat was still going.
And I would just make sure everything was okay, and his heartbeat, his heart rate was where it should be, and then I'd turn it back off. And I did that the whole drive, and it was horrible. And then, it also has another alarm that'll go off if there's a loose connection, and the wires are so flimsy, and the cords, they're picky, and so it goes off all the time for loose connection. It is the biggest headache you will ever have to deal with in your entire life.
The lady said, I remember her saying this, it was something about, it's hard to get them started. She's like, but by the time you're done, you'll be pros. And we are now. We can hook them up. I don't think it's because we've done it so many times. I think what the situation is because they're bigger now. Their heart's bigger. It pounds stronger. I think it's a lot easier for the connectors to pick it up so we can just put them on them and move on about our business.
Yeah. Whenever they first came home, we'd put the monitors on them, and they wore them all the time, but you have to take them off. She told us to take it off 2 times a day for 30 minutes so that their skin can breathe. And most times we only ended up taking it off one time during the day, just because it was just an ungodly hassle to get them hooked back up. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's not something that I wish on my worst enemy to have to deal with.
And this company that takes care of these monitors is probably the worst company I've ever had to deal with. They don't get the information to the doctor in a timely manner. They don't get out here when they say they're going to get out here. They called you one day and they're like, hey, we're going to come by and download the information from the monitor, and they never showed up.
I didn't hear from them for like over a month. It was like a month and a half.
And like our doctor can't tell us anything because he doesn't have information. And by this point, we know that the baby's heart rates aren't dropping anymore. They're fine. They're doing well. So during the daytime, we take them off. That's all there is to it. It's like, we're going to be up with them. They're here. At night,
I'm with them every moment during the day. I'll know if something goes wrong. They're 5 months old now. They're doing fine.
At night, that's a different story. We hook them up and we sleep better for it.
Yeah, it gives you peace of mind.
I am definitely not looking forward to when they take the monitors, because I don't know how well I'm going to adjust. Because like every now and then we lay them in the crib during the day and don't have the monitor, and I have to keep walking in there and like checking on them.
There was a night back when they were really young that Reagan's monitor malfunctioned, and I really don't remember what happened, but it stopped working at like 3:00 in the morning.
And we had to just turn it off.
And we had to turn it off because the alarm wouldn't stop going off. Like I said, something I can't really remember, but it wouldn't stop going off. And we refused to go to sleep. You stayed up with her. Like, we took shifts until they could come the next day and bring us a new monitor. That's how terrified we were. Like, we were so worried that something would happen to this child while we were sleeping.
Well, you learn, and we both knew this was going to happen. When we first got the babies, I remember holding them, and I'm making all these hand gestures, and nobody's going to be able to see it. You were scared when you held the babies. You're like, oh, I don't want to.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
I don't want to yank them around. Now I just pick them up by their feet and move them. I mean, it is what it is.
You do not pick them up by your feet. Stop.
You ever see me put a diaper on them? Straight up in the air.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, but do you remember when they were really tiny? How
you don't like pick them up and walk around the house with them by their feet.
No, I don't do that, but it won't be too long. They'll be big enough that I can wrestle with them. It'll be fun. So, monitors. Ugh. You know what else the monitors do? They make us late on top of trying to get... I saw she rolled her eyes just now.
Oh my God.
Thinking about how we're
it takes us on average,
going to be on time for anything again.
It takes us 7 to 8 hours to get ready to leave the house.
We can't make an appointment anywhere before 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And when we make it for 12 or 1 o'clock, we're late.
Yeah, usually we have to make appointments for 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
The only thing I've been on time for since these babies got here is work. And that's because you guys don't come with me. That is the only thing we have been on time for. We have been late for everything. It's so hard getting babies ready.
Well, it's not just babies, but, it's getting 2 babies ready and feedings. And a lot of times, we feed them and then we go, okay, let's start getting ready. And then before we can finish getting everything ready, we have to stop and feed them again. And, if I have to pump and, it's just, and then we have to pack up the pump and we have to pack the diaper bag and all that good stuff. Depending on where we're going, if we're going to be gone for a while.
So, one of the first places we ever went was to the doctor.
Yeah, the first time we ever left the house with them after they come home, it was, we brought them home on a Friday afternoon, and then that Monday, they had their first appointment with the pediatrician. So it was the first time we had ever had to get them ready, pack them up, pack the diaper bag, get us all ready to go. And it was the most, horrible experience.
Okay, so
I felt like such an idiot. Like, I didn't know what I was doing.
The car seats that we have that are our wonderful friends, Megan and Morgan, gotta thank you guys so much. They're the kind that we have a base inside of our car, and you just click it in, click, 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 and you pull the whole thing. And then we have a stroller that you take the car seats out and they snap into the stroller. Did I cut you off?
No.
Okay, you were looking at me like jerk.
You were talking.
So, you just take them off and you put them in the stroller. So we get to the doctor, take the car seats out, put them in the stroller, then go, no, We didn't even take the stroller the first time. That's right, because I remember we were coming back and we were like, why didn't we use the stroller?
Yeah, after the whirlwind of getting them and us ready to go to the doctor appointment, and their doctor's only like 10 minutes down the road. It's really close by. Their pediatrician, it's in one of the, the big office buildings, and it's on the second floor. And so we had to carry the car seat. We're each carrying a car seat, the monitors, the diaper bag, my purse. We're carrying all this stuff. We have to go in. We go up the elevator to the second floor, do all the doctor's appointment, get back to the car, and then we're like, we have a stroller right in the back of the car.
Yeah, we had a stroller the whole time.
We were so, sleep deprived. We weren't thinking straight, and we're like, why didn't we put everything, the babies, everything in the stroller?
So to jump scale again, we went up to the doctor's, and they would check out one baby at a time. We had to take them out of the car seat, undress them, Did they get shots that time? They didn't get shots that time.
No.
Undress them, they got weighed, all that good stuff. Then we would dress them, put it back in the car seat, get the other one, blah, blah, blah. And then, we walked back downstairs, carrying the car seats, hooked them up, discussed why we were idiots and didn't take the stroller upstairs because, we just got the car seats out and carried them for some reason, along with book bags and pocketbooks and all that good stuff. So, do you remember what happened next? You don't remember?
I don't think so.
We got home. Our car seats have blankets over them. So, when you go to walk outside, you can't actually see the baby because there's a blanket and it's over the top of the car. Why are you looking at me like you don't know?
I have no idea.
It's your car seat. Okay, so there's a blanket over the top of the car seat. So you don't see the babies.
It's a car seat canopy.
Car seat canopy. Okay, so we put them in there, and then we went home. So we get home, and we have the car seats on the ground with the babies in them, with the canopies down. No?
I think you're getting this confused with another story. I think I know where you're going with this, and you're confusing it with
Was it
another
the
story.
second time we went to the doctor?
We went to the party at your work.
Really?
I know where you're going with this. We had gone to the Christmas, I think it was a Christmas party at your work, and we took the babies. I went.
Okay.
We let, because all of your coworkers were so incredibly supportive and really sweet during the pregnancy and stuff. Gifts, oh my gosh. So yeah, we took the babies up there during the party so that everybody can meet them. And we had the car seats on the stroller to push them up there.
So there was a stroller involved in this story.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know anything that's going on in my life right now.
No. Anyway, we had to feed them while we were there, so they were unbuckled and taken out of the car seats.
You are so right. This was the story that I was thinking about. Okay.
So, we took them out to feed them. They went to sleep. I sat them back in the car seats. And, we stayed for a little while longer. So we're getting ready to go. I cover them up, with the blankets. We go out to the car, get the car seat off of the stroller, both of them, and load them up in the car.
And the canopies are on them.
Yeah, we, they had blankets on, and then, we put the handle of the car seat up, and the car seat canopy was over them, because it was really, really cold outside. So then we got to the car, we just picked up the car seat, put it in the car, and head home.
Yeah.
Well, we get home.
I'm completely off my game right now, because I could have sworn that happened at the doctor. Okay, so, all right, go ahead, keep going.
No, we get home, and... we had only gone 3 miles. Your work was 3 miles away. So we get home and
get upstairs.
We bring him inside and go to get him out the car seat. And I was like, oh my God, we never buckled them back in.
Both babies were unbuckled.
Both of them not buckled in at all.
God, we didn't get in a wreck.
I have never felt so horrible in my entire life. I was like, I am the most horrible parent that ever walked the face of this earth. I cannot believe we rode in the car with not one, but 2 babies not buckled into their car seats because I'm a forgetful idiot. I guarantee we're probably not the only people that's ever happened to, but I felt horrible nonetheless. Like,
see, I didn't want to tell this story because I didn't want people to be like, "Oh my God,
we're not the only
parents."
ones.
I don't know. I don't know. Do you think this happens to a lot of people before?
I mean, not on purpose, like, oh, I'm just not going to strap my kid in. No, do you remember how sleep deprived we were and how just crazy? I mean, I'm still crazy. I can't think straight half the time. And it's an honest mistake. And I guarantee that we are not the only people that has ever happened to.
I think some of the only things that are left to talk about with the new parents, because this is New Parents, episode 4, a.k.a. Don't cry over spilt breast milk. We didn't talk about that, right?
Oh,
that was
gosh.
funny. That was
You
funny.
thought it was funny. I didn't think it was funny. So, okay. I breastfeed twins. Because of issues that we've had with them being premature, spending a month in the NICU, an hour away from where we live, is a struggle still, even 5 months into it, to breastfeed. So I pump a lot. I pump, oh my gosh, I spend like half my life pumping nowadays. But I was pumping late one night after we had fed the babies.
No sleep.
It's late.
We're
It's like
tired.
2:00 in the morning. I was so tired. I think I had dozed off while I was pumping.
You got
actually.
curlers in your hair. You're
I did not.
wearing the big moo-moo, big bags under your eyes. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So anyway, I get done pumping, and I think I'm more asleep than I am awake. I'm like, I don't even know how I was functioning. And I spilled a whole container. It was like 2.5 ounces of breast milk on the carpet. And I was devastated, like
This story's going to make me sound like a jerk.
completely devastated. And
You started to cry.
I did. I mean, I work hard for that.
And I didn't know how to respond to that.
I remember I just sat there and looked at it. I was upset not only because I spilled it, that stuff is precious. You can't be just spilling it. But then I was upset that I spilled it on the carpet because I'm like, for those of you who don't know me, I like my floors to be clean. That's why I don't like people wearing shoes in my house. Hello.
So if you ever want to come to our house, make sure you bring some slippers
Please
or some
take
thick
your
socks.
shoes off. Anyway, I remember I just stared at it and I was like, I don't even know. I can't handle this right now.
So she started crying, and I didn't know how to respond to that. I'm just like, I think they have a saying about this. And you looked at me with such confusion, fear, hate, just all these things wrapped up in the one in your eyes. And then there was this awkward silence for like 17.5 seconds. And then you started laughing.
I did. I started laughing.
So I was like...
Because you were so right.
I was like, I got it. I got this. I can handle this. I'm doing this parenting thing right, I guess. Now, woman, clean the milk up off the floor. It's gross. I'm not touching it. Baby milk. Ugh. I'll tell you what. No matter how you look at it, baby milk's gross. Either A, it's breast milk, and that's weird. Like, I don't want that.
It's not weird.
It's weird to me.
Well, you don't have to drink it.
Thank God. Thank God.
It's not weird.
I don't know. Is it weird that I would rather drink the milk out of a cow than the milk out of a person?
No, because I don't want to drink breast milk. That's disgusting.
Have you tasted it?
I have not, and
Are
I
you
don't.
sure?
I have not,
I'm
and I
telling
don't
you guys,
intend to.
I'm trying to break this out of her. I saw her in here the other day. She took a whole cup of that stuff and just drank it because I was like, you need to check that out, make sure it's okay.
Not. You need to.
It's fine. They can know about it. It's okay. It's not
You
a big
need to
deal.
stop.
All the moms do it. All the moms do it.
Well, this mom doesn't. No, it comes out of me. It's not supposed to go back in. That's weird.
I don't think it's supposed to go in me either.
No.
I think after the age of 1 should be going in. And the only reason I feel that way is because when do you start remembering things? Pretty soon after the age 1, don't you think?
No.
What if you remembered? Like, what if you remembered?
I think that's why,
breastfeeding?
That's how God designed it. Like, you're not supposed to remember things
God was
like that.
We're not going to have therapists for quite a while, so we don't want their memories to work too well for the first 3 or 4 years of their lives.
Children don't need to remember the traumatic things like that happen whenever they're little.
But yeah, moms, you get stressed out. You get milked. Sometimes you get milked like a cow. Sometimes
by strangers.
Sometimes people come into your house bringing their own slippers. If you spill a little bit of milk on your floor, don't cry. It's just breast milk. No use in crying over spilled breast milk. Just pump some more. It'll be fine. Oh, what else happened? Oh, we ate cereal for like a week for dinner, didn't we?
Oh, man.
Because that was easy. That's all we could do.
Whenever...
They were eating every 2 hours, and then after they ate, you would pump. for 45 minutes.
After the babies were born and I got discharged from the hospital and came home, our life was crazy. From that moment on, it's been crazy. But especially whenever the babies first came home, the first couple weeks, we were adjusting to having 2 newborns at home. And we had no sleep, we had no free time. So things like cooking really fell by the wayside. And we were so exhausted that we ate Captain Crunch for dinner more times than I'd like to admit. It was like Captain Crunch or sandwiches for dinner for almost 2 weeks straight.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I like Captain Crunch and sandwiches, so...
I do too. Well, I kept... I don't know. I guess I kept waiting for, like, people to offer to, like, cook us food and bring it. I'm like, I thought that's what people do. And nobody did.
Nobody did.
My mom cooked for us. My mom cooked for us quite a few times.
In the hospital, yeah.
Whenever I was pregnant, when I was in the hospital, and then also, when we were traveling back and forth to the hospital every single day, there was a couple nights my mom cooked for us and we went over there, like, before we came home. But, even my mom, she's a very, very busy lady. I mean, she can't cook for us every night. But, I just thought when people have babies and...
Nobody out there is gonna know what just happened. It was silent. I had to do it. I wasn't gonna make it any longer. I've been holding that fart in for like 10 minutes. I leaned over. I make sure I had a good spread. That way it would come out and not make too much noise. You just completely stopped talking. I'm sorry. There wasn't nothing else I could do. If I didn't lean over, it was just going to be like, brrr. You know what? I didn't mess up. I drew no attention. You're the one that stopped talking and was like, oh my God.
It was hard for me to focus when you were going.
What were you saying?
Okay,
keep going.
Whenever, there's certain times when, like, people family members.
God, it stinks. I'm sorry. Let me open the door.
I'm not going to do a podcast with you no more. No more.
Okay, as you were. Keep going. Sorry. I'm really interested. That had nothing to do with your story. That was... Okay, go ahead.
There's certain times where generally, like, I don't know, people, like, bring you a casserole or something. Like, when you have a baby.
We didn't get one dang casserole.
When there's a funeral or, there's like, when you have surgery, like people, family members, friends, neighbors, people from church, like people make you a casserole and bring it over. And
yeah.
I don't know, I guess, I don't know if it's just my fault because I kind of expected that somebody would step up and go, hey, you guys have been through hell. Let me bring you a freaking casserole. And nobody did, so we ate cereal.
And I can see the conversations now because people talked about it. I know people thought about it because my mom even said one person was thinking about making us some, like, meals that they could freeze or whatever. You know what happened? People were sitting in their houses like, hey, do you think we should get, like, a casserole or some food, take it over there? And then somebody went, we got to buy slippers and take them over there. If we're going to go over there, we got to take our own slippers and stuff. Ain't even worth it.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's what happened.
I'm just saying, anybody out there, if anybody is hearing this right now, if you know somebody, whether they are having 1 baby or 8, cook them a freaking casserole and take it to their house after they come home because, trust me, they need it.
And if you don't want to cook a casserole, look at the places that they have to eat around their house and buy them a gift card for food. Don't give them any cash. It's not about the cash. It's about it is so hard to just get something to eat. And if you're going to buy them a gift card for somewhere to eat, don't let it be McDonald's or something like that. Let it be Subway at least. Somewhere they can go and get something healthy. Because guess what? We didn't eat healthy at all for like 4 months. And it's really hard to get back out of that routine now. Yeah, if you got somebody that just like you said just now, that's having a baby, cook them something. right? Take it to
Forget
them.
the diapers, like food.
Whoa,
Feed-
whoa, easy. I would rather have diapers than food any day of the week.
I'm not saying diapers aren't important.
Diapers are the most important
but
thing.
feeding the parents
We do need to eat.
is a pretty much top priority. If you know somebody that is having a baby, make them some food and take it to their house. They need some home cooked meals. I'm telling you from experience.
All right, so this is what you got to do. Cook them some food. If you can't cook them any food, get them a gift card.
Buy them a frozen Stouffer's lasagna and stick it in
Anything.
their freezer. Goodness.
Pick up a pack of diapers. Take that with you too. While you're at Walmart getting a pack of diapers, go ahead and pick up some slippers. That way you can take your shoes off when you get to the house, because they don't have time to be cleaning carpet. Don't need you tracking any germs or dirt in. So food, gift card, slippers, diapers. Make it happen. Take care of them.
Yeah, and that's our best advice. I'm just saying, speaking from experience, that's what people need.
All right, we've reached the end of the show where we would like to beg you guys to go like us on Facebook. Share it. We have a Twitter page now. We said that before, didn't we?
Yes.
I just checked it yesterday. We have no followers, and I haven't followed anybody.
That's
The only progress we've made in that is I put pictures of little birds, because tweet, and nobody laughed, or you don't really like anything. I think there's a favorite button, which I think is comparable to Facebook's like. So it's the Bob and Katie Show it's just at Bob and Katie Show.
Yeah, there wasn't enough room for
There wasn't enough room for the D. So go follow us on Twitter at Bob and Katie. I check it every now and then to see if we have any followers. And as soon as one of you guys follow, I'll start posting stuff. And it'll be just for you, because there's nobody else attached to it at the time. Go follow us on Twitter.
Write to us on our Facebook page too.
Absolutely. We need more participation.
We have quite a few likes on our Facebook page, but we want to hear from people.
We do want to hear from you guys. Anything. Just tell us stories, or just say you like it.
Like, we know that you see our post because it tells us.
Oh, yeah. Every time you look at our post, it lets us know. Even if you don't hit like.
We know you see it.
For those of you that have never ran a page before, it's a little bit different than we're trying to guilt trip our fans.
Please
right now.
comment on our Facebook. Please.
We want attention. We want to know that you guys like it around here, wasting our time. But check us out, social media. I mean, that's it, right?
And if you ever have a question that you want to ask us, please feel free.
Of course, we charge $1.99.
You send to our PayPal. No, no, not really.
That's
totally kidding.
BOBNKT@gmail.com.
Stop.
$1.99. All right, I think that's it for us tonight.
Bye.
Bye.